Hi everybody, Jared Petty here for IGN, joined by
John Ryan.
Today we're looking at GTA Online's new Freemode events trailer, and the skies of Los Santos are packed, and here as we zoom in on this film, let's stop right here and take a peek. Oh,
at this guy right here?
At that guy right there.
Not that logo,
guy
this guy right
there.
here.
Okay, yeah, that's how I dress every day. I don't know about
Oh, yeah,
you.
totally. Gold
Except,
chain.
Yeah, gold chain, although I have a big J instead of a big...
big
yeah,
LC,
like LC
yeah.
there. Yeah, so I got the big J, but the reason we're stopping here is because this particular update for Grand Theft Auto Online is unique in that this is designed specifically for next-generation hardware.
Right.
So this is, or current gen, I guess now. PS4, Xbox One, PC, this is a next-generation product here. And you see it's kind of prettier like that. But what's going to happen in this? Well, Freemode! And what's a Freemode, John?
Well, apparently it's an entirely new way to play GTA Online.
Apparently, so stop right here.
Freemode is the open world exploration aspect of GTA Online, as opposed to missions or multiplayer like traditional multiplayer modes like deathmatch or races and stuff. Freemode is what happens is the overworld. When you just drop into the game, you start in the Freemode.
Right. The GTA overworld has always kind of been a hub that you just travel from event to event and you get transported with a loading time. This is just stuff going on all around you that you can choose to join in or not dynamically. Now, sometimes you have to be near it for this to happen. Sometimes you have to travel to a point. Sometimes you have to be in a vehicle. Sometimes you can just jump in from anywhere. But
right the big point is that you don't have to join any lobbies.
Yeah, it's just right
you can just pull up off your phone when an event is started, which happens, what, every 12 minutes,
yeah,
I
about
think?
every 12 minutes.
And then you are just part of that event.
And there's about a zillion of these. In addition to being a new way to do events, there's all kinds of new events going on.
Yep.
There's like, here's a guy getting a pop-up, and he's going to pop in. We're going to look at the first one of these. This is called Penned In. I really like this idea. This is like King of the Hill, but on wheels.
And well, yeah, I guess it's King of the Hill.
Yeah, you've got this arena that's constantly shrinking. This big dome right here. Everybody's trying to push everybody out of that, but that arena is getting smaller and smaller, and it's moving around.
Right.
And so,
and if you go out of the arena, you can see this guy here happens to it explodes.
Yeah, so it's like car sumo.
Right.
And it gets more and more and more difficult as you go on there. So that's one of the new modes, and these will just happen. You'll be like, hey, I want to play Penned In. Okay, I'm jumping in there. So we see that, yep, truck blows up, gets out of there. Okay, so we move on to the next one. So this is King of the Castle, which really is kind of a king, yeah. And King of the, we'll start right there. There we go. That's kind of beautiful. I love that. This is a King of the Hill mode, sort of a traditional thing. But again, there'll just be a node pops up on the map. First guy there is King of the Hill.
Right. So this guy decides, you know what? I'm not gonna bother driving there. I'm just gonna skydive.
Yeah, he's just gonna skydive down and kill the king and become the king. But these can happen anywhere at any time. So you're just like, hey, I'm wandering around. Oh, look, a King of the Hill thing going on. I'm gonna run over there and take over.
Exactly.
It's kind of fun that way. And we move on to the next one here. Let's take a look at. Oh, it's kind of fun. This is the one I think I'm most excited about. This is called Moving Target. And some of the guys at IGN UK played this. So Moving Target is kind of a combination of Mad Max and Speed.
Yes.
If the vehicle stops on one team, the big vehicle,
in this case, it's this giant mounted turret gun, and the vehicles will always change. So it's in this case, it's one of the ones with the mounted gun. Sometimes it's a fire truck. Sometimes it's a dump truck.
Yeah. So one team's trying to get this thing to stop. All you have to do is cause it to reach 0 miles an hour movement, and it blows up. The other team has escorts protecting this, and of course there's a guy driving this trying to keep it going. So you're constantly chasing the thing down, trying to run it off the road, but it's such a big, powerful vehicle that you really have to use teamwork to do that. And again, you just kind of be driving along the map, and suddenly this will go by.
Right.
You'll be like, hey, I want to be a part of that. And I think that's
you just kind of join in the chase.
I like this kind of dynamic stuff. And then Hunt the Beast.
This one, I think, this really kind of piqued my interest, I think, the most. Not only because you're Teen Wolf, which is great, but the whole premise is that this is really only seen by you until you're actually discovered by another player.
Right.
So the way that this apparently works is that you have to, if you join into the game of Hunt the Beast, one person in the group is selected to be the Beast, but nobody else knows who that is. And the way it works is the Beast has, I think it's like 20 minutes or half an hour to get around the map to various different points. And once they reach that point, they will be visible on the map for a certain period.
Yeah, for a very brief period. Then they disappear off the mini-map. So it's the city, the population of Los Santos. There's a guy that looks like a werewolf, but everybody's just looking for this one dude in a crowd. And it's almost a new way of playing stealth. It's not. You don't necessarily want to stick to back alleys. You want to try to blend in.
It's sort of like a much more difficult version of the come out and play minigame with the warriors, where it's one guy has to get across the map by himself, and because he's a werewolf or a monster or whatever he might be, he's more powerful, he can do more damage, he can take more damage, But it's still the act of I think 11 people hunting one man.
Yeah, I like the idea of I love being entreated to come out and play in general. And additionally, there's all kinds of other missions going on. Then there's also these challenge modes. So the challenges that pop up are these kind of dynamic. Hey, let's see who can do this. Who can jump the longest? Who can do the longest skydive?
Who can do the biggest wheelie?
Or steal the most vehicles in a period of time? Or et cetera, et cetera. And it's just like, hey, you want to try this right now? And this is the kind of thing. The standard jobs aren't going away. You're going to be able to jump into missions.
No.
On top of that, you've got these kind of dynamic rewards. The better you do in one of these events, the more RP, the more cash you're going to earn. You can also, in some of these, you can team up with people and split the rewards. You can kind of form these de facto alliances.
Exactly.
All of a sudden. It's a really neat thing they're doing here. They're also adding new features to the Rockstar Editor for these for next gen.
For PS4 and Xbox One, they're adding the Rockstar Editor.
Yeah, exactly.
Which will give you all the abilities to create, the same kind of machinima style videos and little clips that you can on PC.
Right, and they've upgraded it and added new stuff that you can do with it.
Exactly.
And of course, then you have things like new adversary modes and stuff like that. So altogether, a pretty rich chunk of content for another free upgrade.
Yeah, absolutely.
GTA Online has evolved. I mean, in the last 2 years, from its initial rather bumpy launch till now, when it's just become this kind of, there's really nothing quite like it. I'm also really fascinated by the fact that here we have a game that began on last gen hardware that's evolving into next gen hardware. We're seeing what they can do now as they refocus on the more powerful graphics capabilities, larger memory, etc.
I'm still waiting to see animals in the open world, though. I'm kind of bummed about that, but maybe someday.
One day you're just going to get the big animal drop. It's
just going to be Cabela's Biggest Hunts, but from Rockstar.
I'm totally okay with that. Yeah. All right, guys. So let us know what you're looking forward to in the upcoming GTA Online Freemode events. Thank you so much for watching, and for all things Grand Theft Auto, we'll hope you check back here soon with your friends at
IGN.
Bye-bye.